Hello, and welcome to the best live-action cartoon movie. Sorry the title is longer. Pretty much, live-action adaptations of animated properties. We have quite a long list to go over, so sorry if we didn't get to all of them.
To bank off of nostalgia for popular cartoons, many film studios have put out live-action renditions of famous cartoons to varying degrees of quality, mostly bad.
But before we get into our film for today, we need to establish the factors of which these films will be judged.
We will be rating these on entertainment value, visual appeal, faithfulness to the source material, and overall, if it's a good movie.
We'd make up some rules, but we're bound to break them eventually. We have about 25 films planned, and yet there are some that we won't be able to talk about. Don't worry though, the ones not on here don't really have much of a shot at becoming the best live-action cartoon movie.
With that being said, let's get into today's feature. Here's hoping it isn't awful.
Hey guys! Welcome back to the best live-action cartoon movie. Today, last episode we talked about Scooby-Doo, a dog, and now, we're going to talk about a cat! Garfield! Guys,
Yeah.
it's perfect! It's perfect!
It's perfect.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Ribbit! This is gonna be a classic.
And that's a sign that the tank is full.
We all know it's a great
I don't know
movie.
about that one, Max. I think I
Garfield looks great.
I already have my
he looks
disagreements
great.
there.
Alright, but we're gonna talk
dear.
about our actual opinions on the real Garfield beforehand, starting with Ducko.
Okay, so out of us, this is the first movie so far that I haven't seen before, although I've heard of it certainly, and I think both of you have already seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen it, yeah.
I've seen it.
Okay, so somehow my experience, the most experience I've had with this right now is seeing like clips and mentions of it, and especially I used to have John to myself. That song is in the movie, and it became like a
Classic.
little inside joke between friends, especially present company.
It's a sad song. It's the
Yeah.
sad song in the movie. The emotional low points.
Yeah, and Garfield itself is something I've known since childhood. I have the little comic strip books. I watched Garfield and Friends and some TV specials. I had some toys. I ate some Garfield mac and cheese. I can't say I've kept up with Garfield as an adult. Basically, the most Garfield I've seen in recent years are like the weird memes and a bunch of videos about it on the internet, like Lasagna Cat, Garfield, where he's like, I gotta have a good meal. And Garfield! And of course, Quentin reviews his various videos on the Orange Cat. Garfield's reputation has, in recent years, been for not just being lazy in character, but also being lazy in terms of content, and that's part of the impetus for the memes and humor that corrupt or commentate on the series in some way.
I cannot believe you just said impetus.
Yeah, I have this written out. I wrote for too long. I still find certain things involving Garfield charming, and Garfield and His 9 Lives is one of my favorite approaches to a comics character I've seen, somehow. But, well, it's not like I've kept reading the comic strip as it's gone on, like I said before, and even Bill Murray regrets this movie, so that's...
Oh yeah, and in Zombieland, when they ask him what his one regret is as he's dying, he says, Garfield maybe?
Yeah.
Garfield? That's what he regrets.
That said, I expect something that's a bit stupid but kind of average overall. I don't expect the worst thing I've ever seen, because I've seen the worst thing I've ever seen in the previous series already, so...
Yeah, I don't think it gets much worse than Ginger Dead Man vs. Evil
Yeah, I
Blonde.
don't think
Yeah.
Garfield's gonna have a boob wall. Thankfully.
Dear.
My relation to this film was not nearly as big as your guys's. I mean, I think I know I've seen this movie before. I watched it a lot as a kid, like ad nauseum, so I know I'm probably gonna remember a lot about this when I'm rewatching it. I hear a lot of bad things, but I remember it being decently funny, and Garfield was a pretty accurate portrayal of himself in the cartoons. Like, I'm sure he, like, fucking crawls around ventilation shafts,
Oh,
but
he
I'm
does.
pretty sure
He does.
he's still extremely lazy at the beginning. I want to give this movie a fair shot. I don't want to go into it just automatically knowing that I hate it. I know critical reception has been wrong before, like with the hit film Bushwhacked, only 11%.
yeah.
Oh my god, SMH. As for Garfield himself, my experience actually just mostly comes from the film and its sequel, Tale of Two Titties, whereas the other cat was voiced by Tim Curry. I know, Tim Curry, it's so odd that he was here. But
Yeah,
he
the
voiced
funny
the Prince Cat. He voiced the Prince Cat. However, I've always been aware of Garfield, and I've seen a couple episodes of the cartoon that people like. So Garfield's pretty good, although, as I said, I don't have extensive history with him. I just sort of know him.
I do like Garfield. When I was little, I loved both of these live-action movies. I'd say I watched them. You know how I said I watched The Cat in the Hat religiously?
Yeah?
I'd say the first Garfield is kind of on the same level, in all honesty.
Oh boy.
I think I've seen this movie at least 30 times. And
my God.
that is no exaggeration. I can't remember much of it though, oddly enough.
Garfield! 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 Put it back on!
My introduction to the character was actually the Garfield show, which was like some CG show.
Oh yeah! I fucking hate the 3D model of Garfield lounging around.
What do you mean? He goes. I also saw this one cartoon where it was black and white, and he got grabbed by a thug. I cannot remember anything about that movie except for when Garfield was walking down an alleyway, and somebody fucking grabs him from inside an alley, inside another alleyway, and Garfield just goes, "He grabbed me." That's the only thing I can remember about that
Ribbit,
entire movie.
that's childhood trauma. That's what that is. That's your childhood trauma.
Oh
The only
no.
thing, that must have been a very dark short, and you're
No.
just remembering this part of it.
No, I think I only remembered it because Garfield sounded so bored when like he was talking about the fact that he was being attacked.
He grabbed.
Oh yeah.
I find the comics though actually pretty hit or miss. Like I guess they never miss her.
Oh.
I think
You got it.
like
No, I'm not gonna run the whole thing.
there's like an occasional time where maybe they get a bit clever, but for the most part I'd actually say Garfield doesn't have very good comics.
Wow, Ribbit.
Aw.
Well,
How can you offend this orange cat even more?
I could definitely say I like Peanuts more than Garfield, that's for sure.
I would almost agree if it weren't for Charlie bitch-ass Brown ruining it.
Rude.
Fucking asshole. Shook his ass in the movie trailer.
That's the
I
only
hate him.
reason he doesn't like
Oh,
Charlie Brown.
he's so
folks.
confident. He's so confident by the end of that movie. He starts shaking his ass. Fuck him.
Charlie Brown has had a rough life, man. Don't. I mean,
He needs to get rougher. The world needs to
What?
buckle down harder against Charlie Brown.
what?
Don't even let him think he's gonna hit that fucking football. Fuck Charlie Brown.
Rude, Max. He has
this
cancer.
is-
No, I don't say that.
No, he does
Where did
not.
this come? Where did that come from?
It's a fucking fan theory.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have derailed. Ribbit has to continue. What
Yeah,
was
yeah.
with Garfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, the main thing I appreciate about Garfield is his staying power, because in recent years he's been through a lot of shit, and by that I mean he's been in a lot of shit. But he's still relevant, and he still gets big money. There was also this one CG movie which I think was supposed to be like a spin-off of the Garfield show, but like the animation was somehow like way more stilted than the Garfield show. I don't know how.
Garfield is not doing great right now.
Yeah, and like for some reason it really annoyed me. Garfield was like, there's like this one scene, again, it's the only scene I can remember. Garfield and Odie are like at a cross path, and a bear goes, "I love riddles!" He gives him a riddle,
Oh,
and he says
dear.
like, "Follow your heart and you'll always be right." And Garfield goes, "Follow your heart and you'll always be right. I guess we go right." And then Odie interjects and says that and makes the point that their hearts are on the left side of their bodies.
Well, Odie can't talk.
Well, no, he does it through sign language.
Oh.
And he says that they should go left because their hearts are on the left side of their body, and then he goes, "You really think that it's that simple?" But like what Garfield was going with was that he said, "Follow your heart and you'll always be right." That's fucking simple. You fucking Garfield, dumbass
Man,
Garfield.
Why do you care about that?
I don't know.
Why does that upset you so much? That Garfield's being a hypocrite to Odie.
yeah.
You motherfucker! You fucking orange cat bastard! Go left! But yeah, I'm pretty sure the creator doesn't care about Garfield anymore. I think he's just sitting on a pile of money.
Yeah.
Garfield franchise.
I remember loving this movie when I was young. I'll say that. I would like to also mention that there was this one time where Garfield and Felix the cat did like a crossover to like promote a restaurant, and another time where Felix drank some orange juice and became Garfield. So there you go.
Oh yeah. I can't help but okay. I know I'm being a little harsh on Garfield, but I actually do like him. He's a fun cat. He's nice. Well, no, he's not nice. That's the point.
Yeah,
he's
kind of
funny.
Yeah.
He's funny is the thing. I like him. So now we're gonna have to go and watch Bill Murray's Mistake with Garfield the movie. We'll catch you guys on the flip flop.
Yeah.
Why do I keep saying that? It's not even related to like water or anything. Well, bye bye.
I don't give a fuck. I'm Gazorpazorp fucking Field, bitch. Now give me my fucking enchilada.
Alright guys, we're done watching Garfield the movie. And it was better than I expected, but still bad. I was expecting absolute trash, but it's complicated. Let's talk about it. Guys, how entertaining was this movie?
I mean,
it was fine, I guess.
I could
to
laugh
watch
at
for this
it.
time.
I laughed at it a few times.
It was fun to laugh at.
It was funny to talk about it with you guys.
Happy Chapman is quite the villain.
Yeah, Happy Chapman is my favorite part of this movie besides Odie.
Oh,
Happy, and he gets killed.
Happy Chapman is the fucking worst villain I've ever seen, and I love it.
Oh jeez.
He likes to torture animals with shot collars.
Yeah, I brought up the idea. I wanna see someone. I don't care who. I want Happy Chapman versus Uncle Ian on a versus show. I think.
They both try to capture live action animals.
Yeah.
Man, we are really hyping up Alvin and the Chipmunks for best live action cartoon movie, aren't we?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's without question going to be near the bottom of the list though.
All right, so let's. I want to talk about the one scene in particular. I think we all know the emotional scene. Used to have John to myself, a new dog state of mind.
New dog state of mind.
I did not feel bad for
song.
Garfield.
At the beginning of this, I think he gets better as it goes on, because when he actually decides to help Odie. But he starts off as such a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I did not like Garfield at the start of this movie.
I mean, I guess that's the point. He is a dick, but I think they might have gotten a little too far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he wanted to kill Odie.
Like there's this one scene where Odie like snuggles up to Garfield because he's outside on his own, and he just fucking locks Odie out. It's so mean.
Yeah, he just takes advantage of that.
It's just
mean. But we have to remember a bit. He has a dance off of Odie. He shows Odie what for. He dances right next to him. Oh, get that weak stuff out of here! I'm the best.
I think
he is the best, by the way.
There's a part of this movie where I'm pretty sure Garfield says, "Hey, Boomer."
He does not say, "Hey, Boomer."
Hey, Boomer. Hey, Boomer. It's me. Don't worry.
I'm baffled by the dog dancing scene, and the guy's Happy Chapman goes, "That is amazing."
He goes, "That is what talented dog."
Even though he's literally just hopping up and down, like with his arms in the air, like he just does not care.
My dog can do that.
But like, as the film goes on, and Garfield decides he actually does care about Odie, it becomes better.
I guess
he still makes some shitty jokes.
The second half of the movie is better because we get more Happy Chapman and Garfield isn't a dick, so I guess.
I think we spend like a solid 20 minutes before we actually get to the plot of the movie.
Yeah, the movie spends a lot of time setting up Garfield.
I will say, I didn't actually mind some of Garfield's more sarcastic jokes. I think he actually had one or two good lines, but most of them were trash.
You found this movie very funny, Max? You found some of the lines? Yeah, a little chuckle about some of these lines of him?
You know what? Yes, I fucking did. Garfield had a couple of jokes in it that made me LOL out loud. But, John was kind of a dick.
How?
I didn't like it. I didn't like his face. That's all.
Yeah, Max just decided he didn't like John, but John throughout this entire movie was fucking freaking out.
I just started shit talking him.
John was just kind of regular.
Yeah, John. I mean, he wasn't
And
like John.
also Liz is the one that brings up, "Oh, I want to be closer to you, John." Even though I'm pretty sure it's the other way around in the comics.
Yeah,
Liz is very sarcastic and snarky in the comics.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, I thought she was cute, but like I don't think she was like. They were just normal. John and Liz, they weren't really like their comic versions.
I would have liked
necessarily.
John to have more exaggerated of a personality. I wanted him to be more like he was in the comics, so it would be interesting.
Yeah, I like him.
I can't forget to mention Lobo's in this movie.
Yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
who voices Lobo in the like animated series of like the animated DC shows. He plays the dog that's pissed off at Garfield and wants to kill him.
Brad Garrett.
He's gonna fucking frag Garfield if he can get his hands on him.
Yeah.
That was a nice catch, and we didn't know that going in.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I like how Max actually recognized the voice. Like he was doing.
I love Lobo.
He was doing the Lobo voice for this.
Yeah,
dog.
it sounded just like
Yeah.
doing the voice. I don't think he like naturally sounds like that. He just pulled off.
Yeah,
the
he was
Lobo
like, okay,
voice.
well, you know what voice would be good for this big
No
old
one will
dog?
notice.
I think
You
it's
know what
Lobo time.
Sorry. You know what Lobo means in Spanish?
What?
Wolf.
Oh, well, he was.
I'm
okay.
sure the Garfield movie was fully aware
Yeah,
of that.
the people who cast this movie, like, yeah, that's a good one. Let's write that.
Everyone will get
Yeah.
that. Especially three weirdos on the internet talking about our movie about 20 years later.
Oh, Odie is a pretty cute dog.
Yeah,
Odie-
it's a nice
Odie is-
dog.
Odie's my favorite part of the movie just because the scenes with him are genuinely cute because he is just a cute dog. He looks like my
At
dog.
one point, Ribbit was shit talking the movie. So then I said, "Oh, look, Ribbit, you're gonna cause the guy to electrocute Odie." And then he died. He electrocutes Odie. And I try to pin down on Ribbit.
I have seen this movie many times and I know that would have happened whether or not I shit talked the movie. Max! Just trying to make me feel bad.
But yeah, Odie was good. I like.
Yeah.
I fucking. It's not insulting. This movie didn't make me hate it.
This movie is entertaining, but because it's bad.
Yeah, I think it's because of how bad it is, it became entertaining.
Yeah.
I think it definitely would. I think kids are the people that should be watching this, not us.
Yeah, kids will
I
find this
don't-
entertaining.
I think only kids would find it, because I was a kid and I loved it, and now I'm a little older and I'm like, oh well, this is pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah, this ain't
Yeah.
great. I mean,
I prefer this over a boring movie. At least at least I laughed.
Yeah, this has
Absolutely.
sorry.
Sorry, yeah, you go on, Ducko.
This has a reputation as like the like a very very bad movie. It was just like I said, it was kind of stupid but average. That's what I said at the beginning, and
I don't think it's absolutely horrible.
The movie also had Happy Chapman having a fit on a train, so there's like this
Yeah,
one
I
part where
think-
he sees Odie outside the train, and you can't hear him scream, but he does a screaming face on the train. He goes,
Oh, how could you forget? He says, maybe I'll get a CAT scan. A CAT scan.
Yeah.
A brain scan.
Oh
This-
jeez.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, and
guys.
also, wait, no, we
sorry,
forgot. There's the famous joke, the free time joke. Oh, my poor nose.
Yeah, that happens 3 times throughout this entire movie.
One time he like has a dent and metal. How would there's a guy who just fucking ignores that shit. That would be horrifying to see. A giant dent of a cat, well, not even a cat. It's like a creature's face.
Garfield's worried
Indented
about
in the metal.
Garfield was worried when a bunch of rats were surrounding him, yet he survives a fall off a skyscraper. I don't think you need to worry, Garfield. I think
Speaking of which, Garfield is not lazy in this at all.
yeah, Garfield's
Yeah, he's
athletic.
He's very
Super
you know what?
athletic.
Garfield could be winning could be winning some of those talent shows like Odie. We've seen that Garfield can dance with the best of them. He can give himself Elvis hair. He's quite the skilled little chap.
Happy Chapman.
Speaking of how Garfield looks in this movie,
Visual appeal.
Oh dear.
alright, look, Garfield is the only thing offensive to look at in this. The others are just actually animals.
Well,
Lip
occasionally
syncing looks
there's
pretty
a
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, the lip syncing is bad, but no one can do good lip syncing of animals. It's never been good.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. This movie looks quite bad, if you ask me.
Yeah. Although
Like-
Odie does look cute for a
Yeah.
little cute dog.
Well, because it's a dog. The movie
Yeah.
itself, it has nothing impressive in it. It's all very sitcom.
Very standard.
It's all very sitcom-y. So, like, the movie ranges from, at best, standard looking when it's Lizard John hanging out, and it's really shit whenever Garfield is on screen, so...
Garfield
yeah.
goes, "Oh, I feel good."
This movie just looks really bad.
Now I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say, but how faithful to the source is it? I mean, because I haven't watched a lot of Garfield, but from what I can tell, he is supposed to be kind of a jerk.
Okay, Garfield...
But like, he's not lazy.
Yeah, Garfield as like an action... If we're going off of the actual comics, Garfield doesn't go on adventures.
Yeah.
But if we're
But
going
like,
off the
you're doing a
cartoon-
movie. You
if
can't
we're-
not do
If we're
it.
going off of the cartoon, I guess it's more accurate. But in the cartoon, Garfield's kind of friends with Odie. Like,
Yeah, and he became friends with him in this.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's sort of faithful. I
I
wouldn't say this bastardized Garfield as a character.
But it did get John's personality wrong. It got Liz's personality wrong.
Yeah, John and Liz were not done right. I'm pretty sure Nermal was done wrong too. Isn't he supposed to hate Garfield?
No. Garfield's supposed to despise Nermal, basically.
Yeah. And yet he's just like, "Oh, come on, Nermal, help me get the milk. Got milk?
Yeah.
Got milk." So it's sort of faithful, right? Well, wait, what Ducko? What do you say?
Yeah, Garfield, Ducko's the one who knows him the best.
I guess it's mostly standard. I don't know. Well, not like 100% like every Garfield comic strip, but like, because I feel like Garfield comic strips are more like there's a minor storyline for a bit and like there's gags throughout, but like a lot of like Quentin Reviews talked about this where like they have this whole syndrome of like they have to add adventures to Garfield or whatever, and it's weird because it doesn't really fit with him. I'm sorry I haven't been talking as much as I did in the intro. Oh boy.
I mean, so it's not entirely faithful, but
it
I would at least
is-
say it's more faithful than maybe. I guess it might be more faithful to Garfield than Scooby-Doo movie was to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's not going to save it here if that is the case.
it's not that Garfield thing where he becomes a superhero.
It's not like they. There was no fart jokes in this movie, were there?
I don't think so.
There was a burp joke.
Okay, well, they didn't stoop. I guess they're on a similar wavelength with the Scooby-Doo movie. Then they would get along if the movies were alive. They'd be big fans of each other. Who knew a cat and a dog could become friends?
Okay, guys. Is it a good movie?
Not really.
No, it's
Yeah, nah. This is not a good movie.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know if I want to call it bad. It just wasn't.
Max, what's your definition of a bad movie?
A bad movie is a movie that makes me upset watching it. And
Okay.
it was probably poorly made, but like it didn't make me upset.
It was entertaining for sure, but that's because it was entertaining because it was bad.
Yeah, that might be it. I might just like maybe it's just because I don't hate it that I don't want to say it's bad. But that's the same thing with the Scooby-Doo movie. We had to admit that was bad.
Yeah.
And I guess this is bad too. Even though, I mean, of all the movies I've seen so far, I don't think I've hated any of these.
No. I mean, the Scooby-Doo movie wasn't... I mean, I'd say it had more redeeming qualities, which I guess brings us to where it should be on the list.
I think it is relatively close, but I would still say Scooby-Doo is better than Garfield, and Garfield should be number 3.
Yeah.
I'd take Scooby-Doo more over Garfield.
So this is number 3 right now.
Yeah, so that settles it. Garfield sadly couldn't pass anybody in the competition, and so we've just been going down the list. It's been getting worse and worse. So hopefully our next time we'll actually be able to step up to the plate. We're gonna be watching. Now we have 2 choices here. There are 2 Looney Tunes movies that are technically live-action movies. There's Space Jam and there's Looney Tunes Back in Action. We had to choose between the 2, and we chose Back in Action.
Yeah, it has Looney Tunes in the title, and I feel like we've kind of gone over Space Jam at least slightly, and
Like, I don't want to watch Space Jam. I feel like Back in Action is the better movie. Just,
It is, but
on memory.
Well, Back in Action also feels a lot more like a movie based around the original. In Space Jam, it doesn't really feel like a Looney Tunes short.
Yeah, and also God knows we're not doing a double feature again, so we can't watch them both. I'm actually excited for this. I remember liking it as a kid,
I'm
but
looking forward to
I
Back in
mean,
Action, yeah.
I've liked a lot of things as a kid, and it hasn't held up. So I have no idea if this will hold as well.
Luckily, sorry Garfield.
These guys look good because they're actually 2D animated.
Yeah, I think Back in Action has a pretty high chance of making it high on this list.
I think it's got a chance of getting pretty. Like, I think it's got a chance of rivaling Popeye, but
I'd say it has a pretty
We'll
good
have
chance
to
of
see.
getting first.
we'll have to see it again.
So
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next time on the best live-action cartoon movie. We'll be watching Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.